watching News 4 San Antonio today.
It is 6 a.m. Good morning. I'm David Chancellor.
And I'm Alexis Del Cid. We have a lot of breaking news this morning that will greatly impact your morning commute. We have a semi-truck that has flipped over off I-35 at Loop 410.
So Adam King is on his way to that scene at the top right portion of the screen. But first, we want to go to Vanessa, who is going to help you get around this mess at 410. Vanessa?
Yes. Unfortunately, this is probably going to stick around for quite some time. We saw it last week. We've seen it earlier this week, where if an 18-wheeler is involved, it usually shuts down a highway for quite some time. So let's go ahead and just get right to it. Now, here on the northeast side of town, it's 35 northbound, right at Loop 410. And here you can see the big rig jackknifed, and it's closed off the entrance ramp to Loop 410. Now, you did have earlier two other vehicles that were involved. They were off to the left-hand shoulder, but it does appear that it has cleared out. There was a tow truck, so that's good news for the folks here traveling 35 northbound. Nonetheless, it is down. 35 is down to 2 lanes. There's a lot of debris here on the highway, so you're going to have to really slow down when passing by the scene. Now, I do have an alternate route for you. Now, you can go ahead and exit Eisenhower, because stop-and-go traffic is now past Walsham, so go ahead and exit Eisenhower. And from there, you can hit Austin Highway. From Austin Highway, you can go ahead and loop around to 410 if that's where your destination is. All right, everyone, I'll have the latest with on-time traffic.
Okay, Vanessa, thanks again. Adam King is on his way to that scene. He'll have the very latest from the ground in a few moments, but now we want to head over to Jeanette. Weather is also going to play a factor, not only in traffic, but all morning long and this afternoon. Look out.
Yes, so it is going to be a wet day. We're already dealing with wet conditions right now, David, and we don't know if exactly the wet roads were to blame for that accident, but you can see the wet conditions. Downtown San Antonio, some wet spots. World Car Weather Cam showing you that from our University Health System downtown building. Very soupy air mass in place. The atmosphere is saturated. Right now, we're seeing a few showers moving northeastward across the Bexar County. Winds from the north and northeast at 5 miles an hour. Temperatures are mostly in the 60s. We're seeing a few spots in the 70s. Here's a look at radar. Most of the rain is west of I-35. You can see the rain is moving into the hill country. Pockets of moderate rain now pushing into northern Edwards County. Here's the rain on radar here in Bexar County. This is across central parts of the county, closer to the heart of the city, seeing the majority of the rain, and also on the northeast side of town. The intensity and the coverage of the rain will intensify as this cold front comes in. Looks to arrive here in San Antonio between 1 and 3. Take a look at the cold behind the front. Temperatures are going to be dropping this afternoon. You may not need the jackets this morning, but take it with you, because by this afternoon, heavy jacket weather as temperatures fall into the 50s, and it gets windy with wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. I'll have more details coming up.
Jeanette, thank you. Developing right now, an aggravated assault suspect was shot dead at a parking lot on the city's southwest side.
This is a situation that's been unfolding overnight. We've been tracking the story, working to confirm the identity of the suspect shot. Christina De Leon joins us live with the newest info.
Yeah, it all happened last night in a parking lot over off Ray Ellison Road. And as you guys mentioned, it was a Lone Star Fugitive Task Force. They were working what they call a moving surveillance in on this suspect. And last night they moved in on him. Now we're waiting for positive identification from the medical examiner to see if this indeed was Raul Casas Campos. Now you may remember just a couple of days ago I was telling you about him. He's a 34-year-old aggravated sexual assault suspect who was accused of luring his ex to his Elmendorf home by gunpoint, then brutally sexually assaulting her. Police tell me the suspect was inside this vehicle, stopped at the gas pump here. Agents had been following him and boxed him in at this vehicle. The suspect had a long rifle with a drum magazine attached. Here's what the chief said happened next.
I don't know exactly what transpired at that point, but the officer felt compelled to use deadly force. Fired, I believe, 1 time at the suspect, and he was subsequently transported to the hospital.
And that suspect ended up dying at the hospital. That officer's been placed on administrative duty. Standard procedure in any officer involved shooting. And of course, we're going to have much more on the story, including a confirmation on that suspect and more on it as soon as we get those details from police. Reporting live, I'm Christina De Leon. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Christina, thank you. Coming up time now, 6:05. Last month during severe weather, a Via bus had to be rescued that was stuck in a high water area. Now, we've got new video from inside of the bus as the driver appears to completely ignore the signs, drives into the high water, and then listen to what he was saying as all this was happening. He says, whoa, I didn't expect that. 5 new video camera angles showed that the bus plunged through that water. Now, this happened back on October 24th during some heavy rain that we had in the area. There were dozens of high water rescues that night. 8 people had to be rescued from the Via bus when it drove up on the high water there on Dreamland Drive, not far from Castle Hills. Via is now responding to the video that we just showed you, saying, quote, the driver involved in the incident was terminated, no longer works for us, adding, quote, this was an isolated event. 99% of Via bus trips had no problems at all.
Covering Kerrville, there is sadness and anger this morning as family members prepare to bury a father and his young daughter killed during a police chase. Investigators say Anthony Vargas was in a truck with his 14-year-old daughter, Ariana Vargas, when he refused to stop for a police officer, taking off, topping speeds of 107 miles an hour before crashing into a tree. Records also show Vargas has a lengthy criminal history. In fact, family members tell us he was only recently released from jail, and he didn't want to go back to jail the night of the crash.
I think the message is to parents that are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, they need to think about their children. I mean, I think this could have easily been prevented.
A rosary for both Anthony and Oriana is set for tonight in Kerrville, and the funeral is set for tomorrow morning.
We got a recall alert for you this morning. Millstream Corp is voluntarily recalling cold smoked salmon for fear of a possible rare toxin poisoning that could potentially be deadly. Now, that potentially tainted products were sold from March through September of this year in sealed packages in stores all over Texas. So if you have those, throw them out.
This morning, the Washington Post is reporting Attorney General William Barr refused to hold a news conference clearing President Trump of any wrongdoing regarding his conversation with Ukraine's leader. The paper reports President Trump asked Barr to hold the news conference in September. At the same time, the transcript of the call with Ukraine's president was released. We will bring you the newest information this morning on the impeachment inquiry later on in the newscast.
Well, right now at the Live Desk, we are learning about a rare collaboration between Chinese and American law enforcement now teaming up to shut down opioid traffickers. Now, they've released video from a bus in northern China. You see this dirty, chaotic scene with open containers of unidentified chemicals. Now, this network online looked much different. It looked like a small business. They had perky salespeople who spoke English and sold the lethal synthetic opioid to the U.S. as well as other countries. Now, this bust happened in 2017. We're just now getting a look at the video because a Chinese court just sentenced 9 people in this case for fentanyl trafficking. And that is just one of 3 fentanyl trafficking networks that Chinese officials are now pursuing after getting tips from the U.S. That's latest from the Live Desk. I'm Ashley Sutton.
Ashley, thank you. Reunited with his partner after years apart, we're going to show you why this Dutch Shepherd is so important to his owner. And Adam King joins us live from breaking news of a semi that's flipped at I-35 and Loop 410.
This is a certified most accurate 4-zone weather alert.
Good Thursday morning, 6:11 now. It is on the mild side. It's humid, and we are seeing more rain. 4-zone weather alerts because we have wet roads out there, and you have to give yourself some extra time. Temperatures mostly in the 60s. We are seeing a few spots out west, though, in the 70s. 67 in town right now, 65 in New Braunfels, 63 in Bernie. Dew point temperatures still in the 60s, just like yesterday morning. And visibility, there is going to be some fog through the morning that's going to reduce visibility, mostly in the hill country. But at the airport here, visibility down to 4 miles. There's a batch of rain moving across the hill country, but closer to San Antonio and Bexar County, we are seeing a few showers, some of them with moderate rain. Now, southern Bexar County, southeast side of town, seeing some steadier rain. This is moving northeastward across the county. So again, be careful. Cold front comes in this afternoon, early this afternoon, after lunchtime. It is going to get colder and windy later today. Temperatures will go from the 70s at noon to the 50s this afternoon. There is another cold front coming in on Monday. How does sleet sound next week? I'll explain coming up.
We
Sounds
also,
good.
I mean, it's going to feel way different than it has this week. Vanessa Martin is tracking some breaking news on I-35 at 410 where a semi has flipped. Vanessa, how are we get around this?
All right. Well, I actually have two alternate routes. One is if you want to continue on to 35 northbound, and the other is if you're trying to hit Loop 410. Now, the reason why Loop 410 is because the entrance ramp is completely closed off due to that 18-wheeler that jackknifed. Now, this accident also involved two other vehicles that have since been towed off, so that was causing a lot of slowing in this area. And if you notice, there is still a lot of debris on the right-hand lanes, the two right-hand lanes. Now, all of these flashing lights are blocking off the entrance to Loop 410. So let's go ahead and get to those alternate routes. So to reach 410 westbound, just go ahead and exit Eisenhower to Austin Highway. And if you need to just continue traveling on 35 north, just exit Windcrest and stay on the frontage road. Right now, the frontage road is looking really good. You may encounter a small pocket of slight congestion, but it's not as bad as on the highway. So you want to keep that in mind. All right, everyone, I'll have more for you when I return with on-time traffic.
Okay, Vanessa, that's part of the story. Here's the rest of it. We want to continue the team coverage of that accident. Again, 35 north at 410. A semi-truck has rolled over, and that's where Adam is.
Adam King joins us live from the scene. Adam, where are you, and what can you see from where you're standing?
Well, David and Alexis, we're at the underpass right next to everything that happened. You can see behind me. Let me step out of the way this way. Excuse me here. You can see the flashing lights. Tow trucks coming in, a lot of backup here. As Vanessa just told you, when we got here, it was all the way back to Walsham at least. I'm sure it's backed up further than that by now. You can see a tow truck coming in to get some stuff out of here. Hazmat response team, and this is why. Take a look. You can see where this 18-wheeler collided with the divider here between the ramp and the highway, and all of the debris that is here now. This 18-wheeler actually sort of jackknifed and straddling the median here, so it's about half in the ramp. And then there's other parts and debris that are on the highway, shutting some lanes down there. We can see 35's down to 2 lanes. This ramp is going to be closed for some time. Hazmat crews are actually working on cleaning up. You can smell in the air the diesel fuel right now from the crash and the wreck that happened here. And hazmat crews are actually working out. They're spraying some stuff on the road here. Looks like almost some sand or something they can pick it up with and help get some of that fuel off the road. Now, one of the things that we do know is we talked to some of the folks here that work with the trucking company. They got a phone call and said their driver had been in a wreck, so they came right down. They were told that the driver is supposed to be okay and that the people in the cars that were involved in this accident are supposed to be okay. We do know that truck was empty, and sometimes when you have a semi-truck or a trailer like that that's that big and empty, when things start to wobble and tilt a little bit, it's almost harder to get that control back with nothing in it because it just starts to tilt and gets a lot of momentum going. And as you can see, this just happens. This is the result. But again, we do know, told by the trucking company, some of those folks who were told by police that everyone involved is supposed to be okay. We're going to try to get more information from police as they continue to work to clean up here, but you are going to be closed down at this ramp for some time. Take the frontage roads, maybe find another way. We're going to try to talk to police here and get more information. As soon as we have it, we'll make sure we bring it to you. Reporting live, Adam King, back to you.
Adam, thank you. In honor of Veterans Day, Monday, Bexar County is hosting free wedding ceremonies for active and retired military members tomorrow. Ceremonies are from 9 to noon and 1 to 3 at the Bexar County Courthouse on De La Rosa. Any couples interested need to have a marriage license first. Also, in honor of Veterans Day, we want you to send us pictures of the veterans in your life. Head to our News 4 website, click on the Chime In tab, and upload a picture. And on Monday morning, join us all while we show your loved ones on air.
Also, we are continuing to give away $500 to Southwest Airlines every single day to somebody just like you. Be sure to watch us every morning from 4:30 to 7 for your chance to win. It is so simple. We want to give away a huge congratulations, by the way, to Jeanette Hayes. Yes, Jeanette, you were watching yesterday, you called in or you emailed in, you knew what the keyword was, and you won $500 to Southwest Airlines. It was that simple. Stick with us, by the way, through this show, because we will eventually show the new word of the day, and then somebody out there is going to win $500 just like Jeanette, who's a winner.
Jeanette is a real winner. Be Jeanette. It's 6:17 in your morning rundown. California's Attorney General announced an ongoing investigation into Facebook privacy practices. The investigation began last year. It focuses on how Facebook handles or mishandles your data and if the social network has violated California law and its practices.
Army civilian police officer Jason Livingston reuniting with his canine partner Blecky yesterday after being years apart. He's based here in Lackland. He traveled to Pennsylvania with open arms to see the 8-year-old Dutch Shepherd.
And here's a strange but growing trend: fake funerals. South Korea, more than 25,000 people have done it. They're signing up to write their wills, have their picture taken, and lay in a coffin. People call the experience unique and beneficial to their mental health because it helps them realize how good their life is. And that's your morning rundown. So you get to hear all the nice things people say about you and all the good things you've done, and makes them appreciate living.
Self-indulgence at its finest. Come on. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, 25,000 people are doing it.
Oh.
I can just picture you.
Well, you have claustrophobia.
Right. Yes, I could not do it for a number of
deal
reasons.
breaker.
Crazy temperature today, and then it will only continue over the next several days.
Big cool down headed this way. First off, today we're going to see a noticeable drop in temperatures. This afternoon, it will be 30 degrees colder than it was yesterday afternoon. We got to 82, 83 yesterday. Today in the afternoon, temperatures only in the mid-50s. You may go outside and say to yourself, I don't need a jacket. But you're going to need it this afternoon. Live look outside from our World Car weather cam. We do have some wet conditions because there's rain. 67 degrees and cloudy with showers coming across Bexar County. Most of the rain continues to fall along and west of I-35, not so much in our eastern zone. The hill country seeing this batch of mostly light rain that's moving away from Valverde County across Edwards County, now getting closer to western Kerr County and western Bandera County. Closer to Bexar County, these showers are moving from southwest to the east and northeast. We're seeing Hollywood Park, Leon Valley area, downtown San Antonio, even down towards Elmendorf and Somerset, seeing these showers. Again, that's moving to the northeast. The cold front that's going to sweep through the area early this afternoon, still across central Texas. That's going to continue to push to the south. When it comes through, the intensity of the rain will pick up, and we're also going to see the rain covering much of the area. Take a look at the temperatures behind this front. It's in the 20s in Amarillo, 34 in Lubbock. Ahead of the front, which is where we're at, it's in the 60s and 70s. Let's track the front here. Again, this is our weather maker of the week, getting into the hill country late this morning, coming closer to San Antonio just after lunchtime. The rain's going to come in batches, so it's not going to be an all-day rain event, but you're going to need the umbrellas, especially if you're heading out early this morning. By this afternoon, may not be a great idea to have your umbrella with you because it's going to be windy. You don't want to turn the umbrella inside out. Wind gusts will be up to 30 miles an hour, and temperatures will be dropping into the 50s. We're still going to see rain on and off throughout the night tonight and early tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see those temperatures in the 50s, more so breezy, and it's going to stay mostly cloudy. We'll see some peaks of sun coming back this weekend. This computer model is indicating a good amount of rain for much of the area, between 1 inch to 1.5 inches from San Antonio to the east. Here's your forecast for the day. Forecast high 74. I think we'll get to that just before lunchtime, and then dropping into the 50s this afternoon, early this evening. It's going to be quite windy. In the hill country, temperatures will be dropping into the upper 40s, and that's going to be by 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Here is another weather maker, a very strong cold front, which will be arriving on Monday. This comes in Monday afternoon. Timing could still change. There is a small window of opportunity where we may see some sleet, or maybe even some snow flurries in the hill country Monday night, Tuesday morning. There's going to be an Arctic blast following the fronts. We're talking the coldest air mass of the season thus far. By next week, you could see those temperatures dropping into the 30s, near freezing by Tuesday morning, and below freezing next Wednesday morning. The western zone 50s through tomorrow, upper 60s on Saturday. Hill country, good chance of rain today, 50s tomorrow, 60s on Saturday, 40% chance of rain in the hill country next Monday. You can get the extended forecast for your zone online at news4sa.com.
This morning, a frightening recall involving exploding knitting needles. We're going to tell you which ones you need to throw out or return immediately.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, well, not much has changed with that major accident that's on the northeast side of town. Now we can go ahead and just zoom on in and take a look right here on a live look on TransGuide, rather. Let's see what we're dealing with. Now, this is going to be 35 northbound at Loop 410. This is the entrance ramp to get onto Loop 410, but as you can see, it's completely closed off, and this is due to that 18-wheeler that has jackknifed. Now, the two other vehicles that were involved have since been towed away, but you're still dealing with a lot of debris here, and this is due to the barrier. That is what our Adam King has told me, and he's going to have a lot more details, but I can help you get around this. So depending in which direction you need to go, if 410 westbound is your destination, you can go ahead and exit Eisenhower Road to Austin Highway. Now, if you need to just continue on to 35 northbound, exit Windcrest and stay on the frontage road. Right now, it's looking really clear. If you just stay on, and then it'll lead you right onto 35 northbound. Okay, everyone, I'll be back with the latest with on-time traffic.
Two great tips. That's awesome, Vanessa. All right, we're all over the Spurs for you this morning, and this Saturday is Tony Parker's day. The mayor is going to make it official in a proclamation during the city council meeting today. Tony Parker's jersey will be retired Monday night during the game against the Grizzlies. And don't forget about tonight's game against Oklahoma City. Spurs hosting the Thunder. They don't have Russell Westbrook anymore. They do have Chris Paul. 7:30 tip-off over at the AT&T Center.
Homelessness is a problem gaining nationwide attention, including here in San Antonio. And only on 4, we highlighted the issue in our special last week called The Streets Talk. And continuing the conversation of homelessness, we're bringing together experts and people who have lived on the streets for a special town hall. Your Voice, Your Future, Homeless in San Antonio is next Tuesday at the Tobin Center, beginning at 6:30 in the evening. For more information, head to our website, news4sa.com.
Airbnb is about to roll out some big changes for travelers over the holiday season. Oh, and you're going to like these. We'll explain.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio today.
It is almost 6:30 on this Thursday morning. It is wet, it's soupy, it's on the mild side because temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s, a few spots out west in the low 70s. World Car Weather Cam showing you some wet roads in downtown San Antonio. You can see some Via buses on the go there. 67 degrees at the airport, a few showers drifting to the northeast across Bexar County. There goes the 70s, 71 in Del Rio, 70 in Eagle Pass, low to mid 60s throughout the hill country. Cloudy, a little foggy, but more importantly, is on the wet side. That's why you have to give yourself some extra time. You can see these showers moving to the east and northeast. So this is moving quickly, mostly inside of Loop 410 and now across southern Bexar County, but northeast side of town still seeing a good area of rain. The cold front that's going to come through early this afternoon just to our north right now should be coming into the hill country in the next 3 to 4 hours, and then closer to lunchtime in San Antonio. Temperatures will be dropping into the 50s and turning windy this afternoon.
Okay, Jeanette, thank you. Live look at TransGuide. This is the issue of the morning, the story of the morning. 35 northbound, there's a big rig accident there on the side of the road at 410. It's creating a little bit of a traffic jam. Alternate routes are available. You can exit Eisenhower. You can exit Windcrest. Keep it here on 4. Vanessa Martin is tracking the very latest, and she'll have all the alternate routes coming up before 7 a.m. Well, developing right now, San Antonio police are investigating a double shooting on the city's east side. News 4's Christina De Leon is live at the scene. That has cleared, but you've been working this story all morning long. What's the latest? What do you find out?
Yeah, you know, I talked to police. They're hoping to get some surveillance video from where this shooting actually happened, which was a ways down the road over on Rigsby at a Jack in the Box parking lot. Let's show you the video here from the Knights Inn where these the victims rather actually ended up. This was just before 3 o'clock. The male and the female victim with gunshot wounds to the back of their bodies. One was grazed in the back of the head. The other one kind of had one on the neck, and both of them had to be taken to the hospital to be treated. They're expected to recover. That's according to police here at the scene. This all kind of unfolded just before 3, according to police at the Jack in the Box over off Rigsby. And they're saying there was some kind of confrontation with the suspect outside. They say the male and the female were outside of their vehicle. Something happened. They might have been hit possibly with some buckshot. Still unclear what they were hit with, but they managed to get inside of a vehicle, drive all the way here to the Knights Inn. They were able to flag down officers to get help. Police were able to get them some help, get them over to a local hospital. to be treated for their injuries. That's where the investigation began. Police tracking, actively looking for the suspect and hoping that the surveillance video will give them some information on that suspect. But so far, no arrests have been made in this double shooting investigation. Reporting live here on the city's east side, I'm Christina Del Leon. We'll send it back to you.
Christina, thank you. Now to a troubleshooters investigation. We could build 100 shelters and still need more. It just has to stop. That's a direct quote from the city's new domestic violence plan. And we've now learned 2/3 of the victims are children. And the plan now has a big focus on parenting. Big priority early in the plan is the Triple P parenting program, Positive Parenting Program. Back in September, the troubleshooters reported it was part of this year's city budget. The program's been used all over the world to rein in family violence. It's expected to serve nearly 90,000 local families with small children over the next 3 years.
We can't go wrong when we are dedicating our efforts to preventing something as awful and as frequent as 1 in 3 in our community.
News 4 troubleshooters learned a very large commission on domestic violence is guiding these efforts, making sure the plan works. For more information on how you can weigh in and learn more about it, you can head to news4sa.com/troubleshooters. Click on the story.
We have the latest for you from the border. According to court documents filed Wednesday, the Trump administration separated more families along the U.S.-Mexico border than previously disclosed. Now, the government says officials believe 1,556 children were separated from their families between July of 2017 and June of the following year. That's on top of more than 2,700 families separated under the administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy.
We continue covering the impeachment inquiry of President Trump, and we are 6 days out from the first testimony that Democrats believe will incriminate the president. Acting Ukraine Ambassador Bill Taylor is first up when impeachment hearings begin next Wednesday. A transcript of Ambassador Taylor's private testimony was just released. Tells lawmakers in it there was a, quote, clear understanding that President Trump wanted the Bidens investigated before releasing aid to Ukraine. Republicans argue there's nothing wrong with that.
I've got $400 million of American taxpayer money here. Before I give it to a government that has a history of corruption, I want a possible investigation.
Also testifying publicly next week, State Department official George Kent on Wednesday, and the ousted Ukraine ambassador Marie Yovanovitch on Friday. Right now, the Justice Department is trying to distance itself from all of this. According to 2 reports, the Attorney General refused to hold a news conference, saying President Trump did nothing wrong.
Time now, 1 year since the Borderline Bar and Grill massacre there in California. 12 people were killed, and many of those killed were in their 20s. The dedication ceremony will also be hosted by the Ventura County Sheriff's Office as well as the city of Thousand Oaks there in California to honor the lives lost.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so taking a look right now at our city, we're seeing a lot of stop-and-go traffic build in several parts of the area, but the big story is on the northeast side of town. Now, this is going to be 35 northbound at Loop 410, and Loop 410, the entrance ramp is completely blocked off due to an 18-wheeler that has jackknifed. Now, so this is very important. If your destination is 410 westbound area, go ahead and exit Eisenhower Road to Austin Highway. Exiting Rittiman to Harry Warsbach is also another option. But if your destination is I-35 northbound, then you can go ahead and exit Windcrest and stay on the frontage road. And that's right now moving along pretty well. You can see here that this is 35, the entrance ramp to get back on. That way you can go ahead and move around this area. And so this right here is going to be the 18-wheeler that has jackknifed. You can see that the emergency crews are still present. It is a heavy presence as well. And so you can see a lot of debris here on the 2 right-hand lanes. Now, traffic is flowing a lot better than what it was earlier. There were 2 other vehicles involved that were on the left-hand shoulder. Those have obviously cleared on out, helping traffic along. But just keep this in mind. Those alternate routes are imperative at this point. All right, everyone, I'll be back with the latest with on-time traffic.
Okay, Vanessa, thanks. Big finale of Taco Cabana's Thursday Night Lights tonight. It's going to be kind of chilly out there. Final week of the regular season. Playoff spots on the line. There's a lot of complicated scenarios of who's in, who's out. It's very simple for Stevens. Win, and you're in. The only problem, you got to win against O'Connor, who, you know, they're pretty good. In fact, they're one of the city's best teams. So it's a good old-fashioned Northside showdown. Taco Cabana's Thursday Night Lights. Don Harris, Chuck McAtenick. As always, we'll have the call on our sister station, the CW35, starting at 7 o'clock.
It's never too early to start planning your vacation for next summer, and Cleto Comedy Cruise is setting sail next July. This is a 7-day cruise in the Caribbean. You can get a deal right now by calling Alan Martin at Renner Travel, 210-349-6446. You've been patiently waiting, and we are slowly coming up to today's Southwest Airlines gift card word of the day. Keep watching. You're going to have a chance to win a $500 gift card to Southwest Airlines. First, Adam King.